Personally, what's it like in your eyes to compete in the Americas against a variety of tough and gritty competitors year in and year out?
Yeah, and it's getting tougher every year. The teams get deeper, and more teams are really competitive. And honestly, all the teams have people that are super competitive. And Albany's been, the class of this league before we got here, and is so hard to beat. They know how to compete, and so beating them is never easy. You have to earn it. It's nice when it happens, because they gave you nothing to get here.
Personally, how are you feeling currently, and how proud are you of the team after putting in loads of training over the past several weeks, even the past year,
Yeah.
2 years, whatever you want to say?
Yeah, it's hard, because sometimes you come on the good end of this and the bad end, and when you come on the good end, it all feels worth all that work and time and energy feels worth it for them and for us. And when you come out on the good end, it really makes it a little bit more worthwhile. How's that? And the kids did a great job all weekend. I'm happy to be done with it, because that kind of stress is today. I woke up at like 4 in the morning, went for a run, didn't sleep very much, and that's championship weekends.
So now onto the men. Any events that stand out? I know there'll be a lot of medalists. You had a lot of clutch performances later in the day. Any of them stand out to you?
Yeah, I think Brandon Riley's weekend was incredible. What did he end up doing? 10 events. He placed second in the hep, third or fourth in the hurdles, third in the long jump. I mean, that's a crazy weekend. To do that many events. He's Derek Monroe doing the pole vault and the hep. Like, those guys, I think, really kind of set the stage for the rest of our team. And obviously, a bunch of the middle distance runners had to run 3 races, and all the distance runners had to run 2 races. But I think those 2 guys in particular, and that's what they chose to do, which I think really sets the tone for everybody else. Brandon probably won't get out of bed for the next 3 days, and rightfully so. He can sleep right through this couple of snowstorms we have coming up.
And then, when it comes to the points, obviously, how important obviously was the relay in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be in a position for the relay to matter. And we knew we had one of our better 4x4s that we've had over the last probably 8 or 10 years. So when it came down to it, we were confident, but anything can happen in a relay. You can drop a baton, you can run into somebody, but those guys performed beautifully, and I think it was our fastest time of the year, maybe our fastest time in a couple years. And all of them were in there. I think every single one of them was in their 3rd race. To come through like that and run that fast in their 3rd race of the weekend just shows how much they really wanted it.
And not just to switch topics or anything.
Yep.
Obviously, you had a successful day with the men's team. But what's next for the team? Obviously, you have the New England Indoor Championships.
Yeah.
Any qualifiers for the NCAA?
No, we won't have any qualifiers this year for the NCAA. But we'll take stock here, because we really crushed them here this weekend. So we'll take stock and just make sure, see who's healthy and who wants to do New England's in 2 weeks. And honestly, we'll leave it up to them. They all emptied the tank today, so we don't want them hurt to start the outdoor season. Obviously, we have some goals outdoors as well.
Now onto the women. Obviously, it was a tough day for them, tough weekend, sorry.
Yep.
But put up a lot of fight. You had Santos did well, the 400, and you
Yep.
had the Pitts in the high jump, and obviously Pentathlon was great for floor. But any others stand out to you? Or?
No, I think those 3 were our standouts, and I was just happy because we're super young. 60-70% of our team is freshmen and sophomores, and they fought. And that's what we talked about this weekend. We're going to be a good team, and we're going to be a much better team. We redshirted a couple of kids indoors, and we have a couple of outdoor some good javelin and discus athletes. So I know we'll be a much better team outdoors, but we wanted to fight indoors. And I was just as proud of the women's team as I was the men's. They fought. I think we had probably 70% of them ran their personal best. That's as good as it gets. It's just they're young, and they have to mature to be able to compete at this level, and they'll get there.
You mentioned they're young. Obviously, that takes time with things.
Yep.
Do you have any goals set for them within outdoor season, or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to move up, in the conference outdoors, and honestly, in the fall we want to compete for a championship again in cross country. That's ultimately our goal. It's just a slow build to kind of get there.
And then obviously, I already mentioned, I don't want to take away from today, but
yep.
What's next for anything? Just recovery for the women's team?
Yeah.
For outdoor?
Yeah, just recovery here for a couple weeks, and then get right back into it by the 1st or 2nd week in March. And I think we're already back out. You know, we'll compete in 2 weeks, and then literally 2 weeks after that, we're right into the outdoor season. So really no rest at this time of the year. Just probably 8 or 10 days of just kind of recovery, and then get right back at it.
Lastly, how proud of you are you of just specifically the women's team? Like you said, I know a lot of young
Yep.
freshmen, a lot of PR today though, which is great.
Yep.
How proud are you of them?
Yeah, you know, that's what we talked about, and when you talk about that, and it's hard when you talking about a championship for one team and a team that just has to grow. But they competed just as hard as the men, and they might have had honestly more personal bests than the men. So I know we're heading in the right direction. I know we have the right kids. It's just we'll piece it together here in the next year or two.